Hey man, stay safe world here. You already know what's going on. We got to talk about the situation with Yeat basically getting called out for being insensitive and basically dissing like Muslim people in Islam, man. We gonna get into it and everything that's been happening, but before we do, I'm gonna need y'all like, comment, subscribe, and we gonna run it up. So basically, if y'all aren't aware, there's been hella people specifically on like TikTok and like all over the internet. I've seen it on Twitter too, basically talking about how they were feeling super uncomfortable because of Yeat basically saying he is high as Allah. And a lot of the like backlash has come from people in the Muslim community. I've seen a lot, like more often I think I've seen a couple people who said that they're like Muslims and they don't really care as much about it, but then I've seen a lot of people be very vocal about it and talk about how like he kind of is like appropriating the whole vibe of Islam really, and like this is kind of just the start of it. If you're not familiar with his whole aesthetic is kind of on some Islam shit, you know, like he be talking about rocking turbans, he be talking about the Taliban. I think he said something about Allah and shit, like specifically like other songs. And like I feel like the main issue that people have here is the fact that he's comparing like being high off drugs to like being like God, being like Allah. I mean, like when it came to like Christianity, people didn't really have like an issue with him saying he was high as God or whatever, talking to God. But I mean, like that's completely different than like shouting out another religion's God and saying that the Molly or the perks be having you talking to this man. Like honestly, like the song isn't even released, it's just a straight snippet too. So people have been like kind of going online really voicing their opinions and stuff. And honestly, I feel like it's like, I don't know, like I feel like he at the same time right now, like he wanted to do something new and go for an aesthetic that's like edgy and stuff, so he kind of went for the whole Taliban like aesthetic type shit, like on some Middle Eastern type vibe. I mean, I feel like for them they would probably say it's appropriation shit, but they've let it slide for so long, and then now it's become an issue, and I totally see why. I mean, like if you look at it from their point of view, imagine, I don't know, if you're like super religious or something, like even like saying God or something is probably blasphemy towards some people. So like for them, if they're super religious, it's like damn. Plus it's like, why even do that? Like I don't even know. Like this man is definitely off the shit to even think that that shit is like acceptable. And it's like obviously people are gonna have an offense like in this society that we live in. It's like a super hyper, like everyone is super offended all the time society, but it's like I don't really even think it's a problem with people being offended, because I don't think that's the issue. Like I feel like we can't blame the niggas that are offended, you feel me? Like we should probably blame the person for even doing it. And I guess that's his whole point of releasing the snippet, probably to get like a check and see whether or not it's too crazy or not. And I would say like it probably was in poor taste to do that type of shit, because it's like anytime you're like alienating a group of people, like it's just not good. Because it's like, yeah, you're bringing controversy or whatever, and I don't know if he did it for controversy. Honestly, I think he was just super fried. But if you do the controversy that type of way, you're only gonna end up getting like, I don't even know, like you're only gonna end up getting hate. And it's like, you really want to get your music out there. At the end of the day, like doing that type of stuff, like going overboard with it, is just gonna end up having like streaming platforms not supporting you or doing some bullshit like that. So it's better just not to try to offend people, you feel me? Like if you're even close to offending people, if he even sees the fact that he offends people, but if you're even close to offending people, man, you gotta just be like not with the shits, you know? You gotta just go in the opposite direction, because it's like there's so much other shit you could say, but you know, it is kind of catchy, the song is kind of fire, so it's gonna be interesting to see what he does with that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if people are offended, and that's really just gonna drive up people to listen to it even more, which is the unfortunate thing with today's society. But it's like, man, I really don't feel like it's a good marketing plan to really do that shit. Cause check it out, if you offend a whole bunch of people, like sure you're gonna at first get like good traction on that song, but then what happens after that? You're gonna be forever known as the dude that is like hates on Muslims or something, or like just be like appropriating, I guess. I don't even know what you would call that, but like, is that something that you really want to do? Like, you look at Drake, he's not like known as like someone that is does like crazy shit or like offending a whole group of people. Really, you look at like people like Jay-Z, even Kanye, like yeah, he says crazy stuff, but like you never see him like offending a whole group of people, like a religion. Like it's one of the like largest religions in the world. It's like kind of OD with it, and I feel like that's probably a little bit similar because he says he is a god or whatever, but it's like in Christianity now, it's like so like it's not as like strong of a religion that people even feel that type of way of blasphemy. But like Islam is super different. Like you can't be doing that type of shit, and you're just gonna lose out on a whole bunch of fans. And how many people are even in Islam? There's like 1.3 billion or more, or something like that. So it's like, I feel like doing that, you're just cutting people off from your music, and it's ultimately not gonna end up a good situation. You feel me? Like it's not gonna end up how you picture it. Like it's not worth it, man. But let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Real say shit. You already know what's going on. Let me know if you felt like it was a diss, or if you felt like it was like just him rapping, and if there's worse stuff said in hip-hop and shit. But hey, let me know. Peace.